All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. We're back at it with FSD 12.5.3 hardware 4. Going to take it out for a little spin, a little bit of a highway, another urban area, more congested, more rough roads, more pedestrians. And again, see how it does. So far, hardware 4 has been really impressive to me, noticeably over hardware 3. But I hear that obviously they're going to be making some strides to unify the models to make them the same on both hardware platforms, which is what I said for people concerned about hardware 3. But let's see hardware 4 from the shoulder. Let's engage now. A little bit of a delay, but then it gets going. Golf cart situation here, weird scenarios, but we're off to the races. Unfortunately, I still don't have my snapshot button. Tesla AI, somebody, anybody, please restore the snapshot button so I can quickly report issues without disengaging, especially as I film. Great job coming to a stop. Again, the little bit of a delay on the rebound and recoil from a stop still leaves some room for improvement. It's doing the safer course of action, but a little bit of a faster rebound after it comes to a complete stop, at least to start creeping, would be ideal, especially for people around us. But so far so good since our last drives that we've done off camera. Been having a lot of fun with it, using it a lot, which means it's very useful for us. Where we ran into some issues is that as the sun sets and it turns more into the dusk realm, that sort of transition from day to night at the very end, it looks like the camera struggle to see certain things. I guess the transition between not being in a night mode to being in a night mode is where it kind of struggles, and we definitely did run over a curb. Luckily, it was one of those low curbs that allows you to run over it, but it definitely ran over it. Would have hit it if I didn't stop it. I kind of knew it was at a bad angle. I tried to stop it in time, I couldn't, and it actually ran over the curb, which was not a great thing. I reported it, but yeah, not a good look. I thought we were doing good on curbs, but it seems to me that just that period of time where it's transitioning from day to night or from afternoon to night to evening, where it becomes a little problematic. During the day when it's full sun, no issues, no problems, but that transition seemed to be a problem for the cameras, and I wonder if that's going to be a long-standing issue going forward. We can turn on red here. It does have an opening to go on the left. It makes a run for it. Nice smooth slow down. Someone in the comments mentioned that the reason why it may be slowing down better on hardware 4 over hardware 3, specifically when it's coming up against traffic or parked cars, is that the radar has been updated. The Phoenix radar has been updated, and that's the difference between its ability to see and detect objects ahead of it and slowing down. I don't know if that's the case, but it definitely feels significantly smoother in its response to a stopped car or object, even pedestrians in that regard, versus coming to more of a harder slowdown in hardware 3. Good speed on the auto offset still. It's been very pleasant as of late. Nothing too wild as of late. Just a few miles an hour over, which is where it should be. Cresting this hill nicely. This is always dangerous where the cars are parked here for the car wash and you can't see until you come to the top of the hill. So I'm sure there's been plenty of accidents there Should definitely put some cones coming up the hill to at least alert people that something's going on in that lane when they're backed up that far. Good job staging the lane nicely. Right on time. We've got the green arrow. It recognizes it, proceeds a little sluggish, but again, not terrible, nothing wrong, just preferential at this point, which is great. Got this turn here. As you see, it's starting to bias more towards the side here. Full stop. And it's going to make the turn. I'll be watching it carefully now. Again, I kind of lost it for a minute, like lost the paranoia for a minute. And this is just all kinds of wrong. Good job slowing down for this guy. But I lost the paranoia for a while about the curbs, and then it ran over that curb, and it's all coming back now. The PTSD is coming back full effect, so I'm definitely extra cautious. Not as, way more than before, obviously, because it's a newer car, so, I have sort of a curse when it comes to Teslas. Every time I get a Tesla, something weird happens, some kind of accident happens, and I don't want to jinx it, so I'm going to knock on my carbon fiber here and hope that that's not the case while we're filming here, but that's been my experience. Every single time something happens, flat tire, nail in the tire, rear-ended, side swipe, door ding, within the first couple months. So I'm trying to evade that right now. So running over the curb, I got kind of nervous, like that was it, that was going to be the thing, but it ran over the curb, which is great. No damage to the wheel or the tire. But I say all that to say, it should definitely be extra cautious. As vigilant as it is with human beings, is as vigilant as it should be for curbs. That will really knock down the trust levels when it happens. It really just needs to be an impossibility that it can run into a curb, unless something drastically alters its trajectory mid-turn. Like if it's driving and someone's like turning into its path and it has to evade, that's a scenario where, okay, it has to hit the curb because it has to evade getting into an accident. But other than that, shouldn't happen. Good job staging early for this lane to get around that car, which is great. Nice, smooth around the car, and just smooth overall hardware 4. I gotta say that, can't reiterate it enough. And again, partially it's going to be the car, because it's a much smoother car, surprisingly enhanced from previous versions. But beyond that, just the poise, that's the word I want to use to kind of differentiate it. It's the poise that it uses when it takes turns, makes maneuvers, is noticeably improved over hardware 3. And I'm hoping that they can bring that to be on par. I may have switched the profile. I'll check really quickly. Okay, so I'm still on average profile here. I thought I switched it to Assertive, but I keep forgetting that's my personal profile that I use Assertive on. I'm using average for the profile that I'm filming on. Big bump. Gonna go ahead and turn in here and make a left onto the highway where it will transition. Good job, good distance from that curb, excellent job. And now it's gonna gain some speed, merge into the highway, and then switch over to the highway stack for highway. Good job, nice smooth merge over. Great job. Stay in the lane. I'll bump up to 65. Again, just trying to put a speed that allows me to bump up to the flow of traffic. It's going to get around based on that and just go to the flow of traffic. So now it's on the highway stack, which is different from the city street stack. Therefore, no auto offset right now. And a lot of the logic that they're using for city streets is not applicable here for highway. However, highway was already great for a while, so it's going to continue to be great, but also have some of the shortcomings that are known, that we know about: missing turns, missing exits, some wild maneuvers in terms of lane changes or getting into the exit lane for certain roads may become problematic. All known issues. For those that ask, there is an option here for the passing lane, to exit the passing lane. Don't know if it's here anymore. Let's see. Try to keep my eyes on it because the eye detection gets me. It used to be here. I'm not sure where it is right now. I can't spend too much time in the menu they get me, but there's an option to exit the passing lane. And it might just be baked into the profiles. I'm not sure, but there's an option there. There's the point as I'm making, is that there's an option there and you can turn it off or turn it on as needed. Hard to do when I'm driving and the car is watching my eyes. As you see, we're 65 bumped up against this car right here. Cars on the left are passing pretty fast, which means they're going significantly over the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. We're going to go around and pass to maintain our speeds. We're changing routes to get to a faster lane. And we'll go around these cars and get back. Here we go, get back over, nice and smooth. Still want to find that setting now. Let's speed up because it's in this lane. This is the passing lane, but it's also an exit lane for the exit we need to get into. And as you see, cars are coming up pretty quickly. I'll go 75. Hope that's enough. All right, getting ready to get into this exit lane. Let's see how smooth it does this. Turn signal on, nice and smooth, not too wild. Turn signal off by itself, which is great. And then now we're going to take this bend, slow our speed down a little bit, and then we should be able to continue on our route, which is another highway. If it's more of a local highway, more than an interstate type of highway, or an inter-county highway, it will revert to city streets. But let's see. I've not gone this way yet with this build. Increasing speed, 65, slowing down significantly. Still a 55-mile-an-hour zone here. Cars are at varying speeds. Nice smooth lane change here. And it drops down to 60 now. It's our 5-mile-an-hour offset for the highway that we have on there. Nice. So this is still highway, not city streets just yet. Still very good, still very competent. But doing its thing. All right, so we're transitioning now. We're getting ready to transition from highway to city streets as we take off from this local highway, merge and go to downtown area, which again will be more dense, similar to New York City, New York City-like. Let's just see how it does navigating these sort of urban streets. Turn signal on, slows down nicely for this exit. Stays to the right. So even more, and now we've transitioned back to city streets. As you notice, the auto offset here kicks in. And now we have a very interesting maneuver traffic-wise where we're going to have to make a left here, and then we're going to have to make a right that comes after another right, so a double right sign. So the signage should be on the ground, I don't know if it's still there, but it should be a signage on the ground for double right, where you can make the first right and the second right from the same lane. Let's see if it stages that lane. Good job. Yes, it's still there. Double right lane here. Needs to get into that lane, transitions nicely. Stays the course and goes the correct way for the right lane, which is great. Has a green light. That curb looks a little suspect. And it rolled over it again. Son of a... So again, not great. I'm going to stop that one so I can flag it. Autopilot rolled over a curb, hit a curb again. Please fix this. I knew it looked a little weird, but it was low enough for me to roll over it, so I just let it go. Anything higher, I definitely would be a problem. Any damage to my rims, Tesla, I'm going to send you an invoice. Maybe you can hook a brother up. But yeah, that's still an issue. Doesn't seem to be an issue with the time of day now. That kind of dispels that theory. However, I do notice that it's a little bit more timid at that time still. So take caution there. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I think we need more training on the East Coast. I think maybe these curbs that I'm seeing are maybe unique to this area, different from California, and therefore need to be addressed. Now, I didn't stop it because if I stopped it midway through, it might have scraped it. I just let it go straight over because I knew the angle it was going on. And hopefully that's going to result in no damage. Coincidentally, it was actually the same wheel the last time in a different location, totally different location, did the exact same thing. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but definitely not a good thing. Needs to be in the right lane. Good job staying there. Good job being poised about it and not freaking out. And good job being decisive in the gesture of the yoke. Super close. Not liking that. All right, right turn coming. I'll be extra cautious here as the curb is a little weird. Goes wide, course corrects. Good job there. Ice cream truck. No lights on. Interesting. Tighter streets. This curb's pretty high. I will definitely take over if I feel it's not taking the right angle. Again, I just like to keep these up so I can keep a eye on it and make sure I can adjust it accordingly. That curb looks nasty. Looks like a lot of people have already hit it. As you can see here, people are still hitting it. Please go wide. Stops. Goes up slowly. Good job. Gets out there, slows down for pedestrians as always. Extra caution around pedestrians. Great job. Double yellow. Seems to handle that fine. Makes this left. Lets the person go. No, it does let the person go. There we go. There's no way to communicate that, so it just slows down and they don't really know. Wow, this person walking and not even looking. Good job slowing down, Tesla. Saving lives. It's always disconcerting when you see someone walk across the street and look the opposite way for where cars are not most immediately a threat to them. So like coming across the street this way and then looking that way, as opposed to coming across the street and looking the way that the cars are coming. Not good. Yeah, see that course corrected for the curb. You see that? There's something going on there where it makes those course corrections. And that was my first observation of 12.5 on hardware 4, and just 12.5 in general. Just those course corrections that it's making when it makes turns seems to be an issue where it doesn't quite have it all figured out. So yeah, that's a problem. Needs to be addressed, and Would love for Tesla to figure that out. We're kind of here. Just gonna try to pull over. I'm just gonna pull into this driveway up here, if I can. And run out really quickly and check on my wheel. Be right back. All right, guys. Looks like I got lucky again. I will not push my luck again. Tesla needs to work on that. They need to get that fixed. It was a roller, no damage to the wheel, no damage to the tire. So that's great, but definitely something Tesla needs to address ASAP. With that said, in terms of confidence, great confidence throughout the entire drive. A little bit of a delayed start to get started, so that knocks it down a little bit. And then obviously the decision, the confidence to just run over a curb is not a good look. So that knocks it down, that knocks it way down, in my opinion. But it did everything else very confidently and very competently. In terms of comfort, same deal. Very good out the gate once we got going. But hitting that curb is just like, it takes the comfortability out of it, because again, it's just not fun hitting a curb or rolling over a curb. So not great there, but everything else, it did well. In terms of comfort, it did feel really comfortable. It felt like a ride share. If I wasn't paying attention, I was just in the back seat or the passenger seat, I wouldn't know that a computer or a machine was driving me around. In terms of decision making, great decision making across the board. Again, with the exception of the decision to continue down a path that was going to have it intersect with the curb. Not a good look. And then safety, I felt safe. I didn't feel unsafe. I felt unsafe for my wheel as it was going towards that curb, and then actually when it ran over it. So that was definitely not good. So everything is knocked down a notch. Not quite down to the level where we put it to a taxi driver, but I would say low levels of Uber Black now. So instead of mid or high levels like it was before, it's now down to low levels with this particular drive. Adding to that, the issues with, again, the transition from afternoon to evening, lighting conditions, and again, rolling over a curb again. So second curb, same wheel, not a good look, gets knocked down a notch there. I can't say it's quite taxi cab level, because all around it was a great drive just to get from point A to point B, highway and back. Everything was smooth, everything was comfortable, everything was relaxed. It's just those incidences that I mentioned. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this drive. Let me know if you got this build, what you think about it. I'm still waiting for my snapshot. Tesla, please give me the snapshot back. And until the next time, enjoy your day. Enjoy your Tesla.